our next topic, that is reaction of metals with acids. Right? Now we are taking these metals, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron. Right? You can put dilute acids, HCl, or even you can take sulfuric acid, you can take hydrochloric acid, and you can take nitric acid also. So when you add magnesium with hydrochloric acid, what will form? It forms salt that is called magnesium chloride, right? MgCl2 is the magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas. Similarly, when you are adding aluminium with HCl, you will get aluminium chloride AlCl3 and 3H2. Can you tell me one thing? Here MgCl2 is written, Cl2 is written, but in this case AlCl3 is written. Can you tell me why there is difference is 2 and 3? Let me know. In case of magnesium chloride, I am writing MgCl2. But in case of aluminum chloride, I am writing AlCl3. Why is that so? Doesn't this question arise in your mind? If sometimes we write 2, sometimes we write 3, what is this matter? Can you tell me? Anyone? Let me know.
Ma'am, valency of aluminium is 3 and magnesium is 2.
Very good. Valency of aluminum is 3 and magnesium is 2. And chlorine is 1. Right? So while making formula which we taught in 9th class, right? Aluminum is having valency 3. So by cross multiplication, 3 goes to chlorine. And chlorine is having 1. So it will come here. So that is why the formulas varies. Clear? Keep that in mind. You have done formula in 9th class. Right? So this is what we are doing. We are writing the formula according to the valencies. So when we are coming to zinc, it is HCl, take hydrochloric acid, and when you are adding, it will become zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Iron plus hydrochloric acid, iron chloride, and ferrous, you can call it as ferrous chloride also. Okay? Plus H2. So these are the formulas when the metals react with the acid. So when the metals react with the acid, it always forms salt. This MgCl2, AlCl3, ZnCl2, ZnCl2, FeCl2, these are the salt, and that is a hydrogen gas, right? Same thing you can do with the sulfuric acid also. Now when we are adding this hydrochloric acid, if you find you will find difference in their temperature. Right? If you touch the vessels also, you'll find some heat is releasing and it may be hot. But this hotness is never the same. Right? Temperature varies hota rehta hai. Right? It depends upon the reactivity of the metal. It depends upon the reactivity of the metals. So, if you find out the reactivity of these metals, what you will find, magnesium is more reactive than aluminium, and aluminium is more reactive than zinc, and zinc is more reactive than iron. That means magnesium is taking fast in the reaction, right? It reacts very fastly as compared to the other metals, and temperature of this metal, this salt, this solution is very high. And iron, that is Fe. Why is the symbol Fe? Can you tell me what is the chemical name of iron?
Ma'am, ferrous.
Ferrum, right? Ferrous also we can call it as ferrum. Formula chemical name is ferrum, but while discussing with formula we write ferrous, right? So this iron, that is called ferrum or ferrous, this is least reactive among all these four elements, right? I'm talking about these four elements. If you're comparing magnesium, aluminum, zinc and iron, so magnesium is more reactive and iron is least reactive, right? And you know that this copper, silver and gold do not react with dilute hydrochloric acids. So clear? These are the least reactive elements and they do not react with hydrochloric acid. Now one exception is there. I told you you can put any acids, that is hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid or nitric acid. But in hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, this hydrogen gas is evolved. There will be releasing of hydrogen gas. But when you react metal with nitric acid, hydrogen gas is not evolved. Why? Because this HNO3 is the strong oxidizing agent, right? And it oxidizes the hydrogen produced to water and itself reduced to oxides of nitrogen. You can see the example, copper plus nitric acid. Now what you'll get? You'll get the salts copper nitrate. This is copper nitrate. And instead of hydrogen, you are getting water. Clear? Clear or no? So this is the exception. This is very much important question. You can mark it. I will ask you to mark in the book also. It is given in the book. It is very much important question. Why when the metal is reacted with nitric acid, why hydrogen gas is not evolved? Because answer is that it is very strong oxidizing agent. HNO3 is strong oxidizing agent. It forms water and get reduced to oxides of nitrogen, right? जब HNO3 आप कॉपर में मिक्स करोगे तो कॉपर नाइट्रेट सॉल्ट तो बन जाएगा, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ H2 ये HNO3 क्या करता है? ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाता है और वाटर बनाता है और साथ में अपने आप को रेड्यूस कर लेता है, क्योंकि हाइड्रोजन तो इधर चला गया वाटर के साथ एंड NO3 को reduce करके NO2 बना लेता है, that is oxides of nitrogen, that is called dinitroxide, right? Have you followed this? This is very much important question. Exception है ये. Yes, anything you want to ask? Any doubt here? Yes, students?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. Now I will ask, open your NCERT book. We'll mark in the book also where it is given. It is very much important question. So mark in your NCERT also. You are having your book with you? You keep your book with you or no? See here.
Yes, ma'am.
Whenever metal combined with acids, it forms salt and hydrogen. This is the general formula. And the activity which we have done now, magnesium, see here, collect all the metals sample except sodium and potassium. Why we are not taking sodium and potassium? Because they are more reactive elements, right? They react vigorously even with cold water. Cold water के साथ ही reaction है उसकी इतनी fast है. अगर आप acids में डाल दोगे तो क्या होगा? धमाके बोलेंगे. You can't control that reaction, right? Clear? Take like this, whatever you have taken, we have taken magnesium, aluminum, zinc and iron. यही लिए थे ना हमने slide में. We have taken magnesium, aluminum, zinc and iron. And we have rubbed with them the sandpaper. Why? क्योंकि ये मेटल्स पड़े पड़े जंग लग जाता है, इसमें ऑक्साइड का लेयर बन जाता है. So remove that oxide layer of oxygen. We rub with the sandpaper, right? Now put them. We'll do in the lab also. Otherwise, after vacation, I'll go to the lab. If the school will not reopen, I will show the reaction in lab. ठीक है? First chapter की भी कमी practicals I will show you in the lab. Second में भी जितने भी हैं and third में भी जितने will I'll do the lab recording in the lab and then I will show you. Okay? Now you are putting these metals, magnesium, aluminum, zinc and iron in the separate test tube, and then you are putting hydrochloric acid. and you are going to touch from the outside, right? If the school reopens, we do in the lab. Otherwise, first I will show you in the recording of these experiments. Then whenever we are coming to the school, then I will do in the lab also. Okay. Now, the important question which I have told you, this is given here. See here. Hydrogen gas is not evolved when a metal reacts with nitric acid. It is because HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. You can mark from here. Yes, students, you can mark from here. Hydrogen gas is not evolved when a metal reacts with nitric acid because it is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes the hydrogen produced to water and itself get reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. That is N2O. N2O may form, NO may form, NO2 can be formed, right? But manganese react with very dilute HNO3 to evolve. This is the exceptional case, right? This is the exceptional case that manganese and magnesium that can react with nitric acid, not other metals. Clear? So when we are talking about the reactivity series, you can mark here magnesium is more reactive than aluminium, and aluminium is more reactive than zinc, and zinc is more reactive than iron. That means iron is the least reactive, right? And magnesium is the more reactive. And if you put the copper, you won't see any bubbles, you won't see any change in temperature. That means copper is unreactive in dilute HCl. Along with, we have discussed that is about gold and silver also. They do not react with dilute HCl. Clear? Clear? Now, one thing is there, aqua regia. You know that? You will go to the goldsmith, सुनार के पास जाते हो कि you wash my bangles or ring, गंदी हो जाती है, गोल्ड की चीज हम ले आते हैं. So what they will do, they will wash in the aqua regia. Now, what is this aqua regia? It is a mixture of hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid. As I told you, gold will not react in the dilute HCl, right? They won't react in the dilute acid. So they are taking concentrated, which is very strong acid. Dilute means you are mixing the acid with the water. Just like vinegar, सिरका जो घर में है, it is dilute acetic acid. जो मम्मा यूज करते हैं ना सिरका विनेगर, it is a dilute acetic acid. उसमें 10 ml acetic acid होता है, 90 ml water होता है. You can prepare vinegar at your home also by bringing the bottle of acetic acid. So same way you can prepare aqua regia also in the home. But if you put the gold, it dissolve. गोल्ड ऊपर की लेयर थोड़ी बहुत डिसॉल्व हो जाती है जितनी देर आप पानी उसमें एसिड में डालोगे. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी आर एडवाइजिंग एवरीवन नॉट टू टेक टू द गोल्ड फॉर वॉशिंग टू द गोल्ड. सुनार के पास लेके जाओगे वो ज्यादा देर इस ऐसे एक्वा रीजन में छोड़ देगा और ऊपर का लेयर उतरता जाएगा. एज ए रिजल्ट व्हाट विल हैपन, you will be losing the weight of gold. Clear? So you can wash at home also. By taking the dilute form also you can do, because we have to remove only the impurities. Dust ऊपर बैठ जाती है वो रिमूव करनी होती है. घर में आप हल्दी सर्फ वगैरह डाल के साफ करोगे तो it will be getting clean, right? So no need to take to the goldsmith because they are using concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio 3:1. You can prepare it at your home also. So gold will dissolve. Clear? Clear? समझ आ गया? Same thing for the platinum also. This is for your general knowledge I have taken, right? Next topic is how do metal react with solutions of other metal and salts. We'll take PPT now. Now, reaction with metals with salt solutions, you can see here, same thing. We have done with HCl. Now you can do with the copper sulfate. If you add magnesium with copper sulfate, what will happen? Magnesium sulfate is formed and copper will be getting reduced. This is displacement reaction, what you have done in your first chapter. This magnesium is more reactive than copper, so magnesium displays copper. Revision of first chapter, displacement reaction की revision है ये. You know that? Remember or no? याद है displacement element में क्या होता है?
Yes, ma'am.
A more reactive element displays less reactive element.
Less
So
reactive
with
element.
this you can tell that, with this you can tell that magnesium is more reactive than copper. Same with zinc plus copper sulfate, it will form zinc sulfate and copper is getting reduced. Right? Third one is iron with copper sulfate, iron sulfate and copper. What you will conclude from these three reactions? Can you tell me? Which is the least reactive metals? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, copper.
Copper, because
Copper.
in all the three cases, copper is getting reduced. It will be displaced. So magnesium, zinc, and iron, they are the more reactive element than copper. Keep in mind. Now, this is the activity of magnesium with copper sulfate solution, right? So you know that copper sulfate is blue color solution, right? And when you are putting magnesium sulfate, magnesium powder, what will happen? This become this will become colorless, right? And what you will get the colorless solution of magnesium sulfate. See here, this is the reaction. Magnesium, copper sulfate is blue color. You are putting magnesium powder in copper sulfate. And this blue color fades. Why it is blue color fades? Because copper is getting reduced. Copper alag ho raha hai. And you can see the pieces of copper, right? And this solution become colorless due to the presence of magnesium sulfate solution. Same thing with the iron nail. This is very common experiment. We have done in your 8th class also. We have discussed. When we are putting copper in the, when we are putting iron nail in the copper sulfate, what will happen? This copper get deposited to the iron nail. You can see it becomes brown in color. And color of the solution, that is blue color, will fade due to the formation of iron sulfate. So ये colorless solution क्या है यहाँ पर? Iron sulfate है. Copper कहाँ गया? Copper get deposited on the iron. Same way here, you can see the pieces of copper and you can see the colorless solution of magnesium sulfate. Right? Clear? This is the activity given in your book also. See here. I am taking along with book also. This is activity 13.2. Take clean wire of copper and an iron nail. Right? Put the copper wire in the solution of iron sulfate and the iron nail in the solution of copper sulfate taken in the test tube. That means they have done both the to show that copper is least reactive. ठीक है? अगर iron को आप copper sulfate में डालोगे तो copper will get deposited on the iron nail. But copper को अगर iron sulfate में डालोगे then no reaction will take place because copper is less reactive than iron. Clear? समझ आ गया? You can see this is the activity which I have discussed right now in the slide. This is the copper sulfate solution. This is the iron nail. After that, this iron nail get deposited with the copper. This is the there are two activities. One is dipping of iron nail in the copper sulfate, and another one is dipping of copper nail in the iron sulfate. So here you don't find any reaction. It will remain like that only because copper is less reactive than iron, right? But in this case, you will find that this copper is get deposited to the iron nail and this color of the solution fades. It fade ho jayega and this will become colorless. So what will happen? Here you will find reaction. Here you will not find reaction. Can you tell me why? Yes, there are two test tube. In one test tube, iron nail is dipping in the copper sulfate. Iron nail को हमने कॉपर सल्फेट में डाला है और दूसरे टेस्ट ट्यूब में हमने उल्टा कर दिया है, कॉपर वो वायर को हमने आयरन सल्फेट में डाला है. इन विच टेस्ट ट्यूब यू विल फाइंड रिएक्शन? यस, इसमें रिएक्शन होगा बेटा?
Ma'am, in which iron nail is dipped?
Yes. Why there is no reaction in this test tube copper wire oil में?
Ma'am, because copper is less reactive than iron, so it does not display the iron sulfate, iron from iron sulfate solution.
Yes. Have you followed this?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt here? Any doubt here? Yes. Anyone wants to ask
No,
anything?
ma'am.
So
No,
on
ma'am.
the basis of all these reactions, beta, we have made reactivity series. This is the reactivity series of the metals. You'll find potassium is the most reactive element metal than others, and gold is the least. You can write below this platinum also. Platinum is also least reactive element. Clear? So this is the reactivity series. So first on the top it is potassium. That means it is the most reactive. Potassium and sodium both are most reactive, and apart from that, calcium, which is the more reactive, but it is less than potassium and sodium. So this is the decreasing order of reactivity series of metals. You have to remember this, right? So go through this table and try to learn if possible, right? So with the practice also you will learn that which are metals which are more reactive, which metals are less reactive. So we'll do the experiments also in the lab, and then you will remember which is the most reactive. So you have this activity series, which is in the decreasing order, is very much important. Clear? Mark this in your book. Now, this is what we have discussed. Any doubt here? Now this is the table of reactivity series of, these are the most reactive. Then when we are going down, this reactivity decreases, and here you will find least reactive metals. Clear? So next is how do metals and non-metals combine? Come to the book, I will show you from there. Next topic is how do metals and non-metals react? As I told you in 9th class also, the chemical formulae forms when metal react with non-metals. We have done sodium plus chlorine, NaCl2. We have done magnesium plus chlorine. Chlorine is non-metal, magnesium is metal. So how we are going to combine these metals and non-metals? What actually happens? Now, you can mark from here. If you take the example of sodium chloride, you can see we have done in 9th class also. From here you mark it. Sodium atom has 1 electron in its outermost shell. If it loses the electron from M shell, then its L shell now becomes the outermost shell, and that has stable octet, right? The nucleus in the atom still has 11 protons, but the number of electrons has become 10. So there is net positive charge giving us sodium cation, that is Na+, right? On the other hand, chlorine has 7 electrons in its outermost shell, and it requires 1 more electrons to complete its octet. If sodium and chlorine were to react, the electron lost by sodium could be taken by chlorine. After gaining an electron, the chlorine atom gets a unit negative charge because its nucleus has 17 protons and there are 18 electrons. It is K, L and M shells. This gives you Cl minus. So both these elements can have give and take relation between them as follows. Have you followed this? If you remember your 9th class में मैंने समझाया था very clearly. See here, you can come to this table. The sodium has 281, right? Clear? Now coming to the chlorine downward. See here, chlorine has 287. Now, why the metals and non-metals have to attain stability? ठीक है, पेट इन्होंने आउटर मोस्ट शेल में इनके 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होने चाहिए और उस 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को रखने के लिए दे विल रिएक्ट. So when we are talking about sodium, it is having 1 electron extra. You can see here, because first shell is complete, second shell is complete, but third shell is incomplete because it is having only 1 electron. So it wants to complete either third shell. So it will take 7 electrons. अगर इसने थर्ड शेल कंप्लीट करना है तो ये 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लेंगे, राइट. अगर ये 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे देता है तो इसका सेकंड शेल कंप्लीट रहता है. तो स्टेबिलिटी इसको ऐसे भी मिल सकती है. So I told you, while giving also electrons we lose the energy, while taking electrons also we lose the energy. जब देते हैं इलेक्ट्रॉन्स तो भी एनर्जी खर्च होती है और लेते हैं तो भी खर्च होती है. तो what this sodium will do, instead of taking 7 electrons, क्योंकि जब 7 electrons वो लेगा तो इसकी एनर्जी बहुत ज्यादा खर्च होगी, राइट. सो इट विल लूज 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन. ये क्या कहेगा कि मुझे नहीं चाहिए 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, मैं क्यों इतनी एनर्जी लूज करूं, आई विल गिव ऑफ 1. ठीक है, क्लियर, समझ आ गया. जैसे मान लो आई टोल्ड यू, हैव गिवन यू द एग्जांपल इन योर क्लास आल्सो, इन नाइन्थ क्लास, कि मान लो आपने भी कॉपी कंप्लीट करनी है, आपने आपके फ्रेंड ने भी कॉपी कंप्लीट करनी है, आप थर्ड पर्सन से कॉपी लेते हो, आपने एक क्वेश्चन लिखने हैं, उसने 7 क्वेश्चन लिखने हैं. तो हु विल टेक द नोटबुक, यू और फ्रेंड? यस, हु विल टेक द नोटबुक, कौन लेगा? जिसने 1 क्वेश्चन लिखना है, जिसने 7 लिखने हैं, बोलो.
मैम जिसने 1 लिखना है.
क्यों? आप अपना 1 लिखोगे और उसकी कॉपी लेके उसके 7 भी लिख दोगे? इतने अच्छे फ्रेंड हो आप क्या ले, अपने 7 लिखियो, साथ में 1 लिखियो, क्योंकि आपका काम कम है, राइट. You are using your less energy of writing 1, and if you are taking others notebook who has to write 7 question, जिसने 7 क्वेश्चंस लिखने हैं उसकी कॉपी लिख के आप अपनी एनर्जी वेस्ट करोगे. तो व्हाट इज द बेटर, आप कहोगे कि तू मेरी कॉपी ले जा, एक क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट कर दिया, बिकॉज यू हैव टू राइट मोर क्वेश्चन, आई हैव टू राइट ओनली 1 क्वेश्चन. डू यू टेल लाइक दैट? ऐसे ही बोलेंगे ना या नहीं? Yes, tell me, we'll say like that only. In the same way, where also it will lose 1 electron, and this way 1 electron will be given to chlorine here, right. So what will happen, this chlorine completes its octet by gaining 1 electrons, and sodium will complete its octet by losing 1 electrons. Now if you are talking, now we are saying that sodium is positive charge. Why sodium is positive charge? Because now it will be having 10 electrons, but protons will be 11. So when you cancel minus plus, it will be positive charge. And when chlorine is taking 1 electrons, now it will be having 18 electrons and 17 protons. So it is negative charge. This is how the metals and non-metals react. Right. Now coming to the example we are talking about. See here, this sodium, its atomic number is 11 and electronic configuration is 281. So it will lose 1 electron, right? It is losing 1 electron. So its electronic configuration will become now 28. If you are talking magnesium, then what will happen? Because magnesium atomic number is what?
It will give 2 electrons.
It will give 2 electrons, right? So in both the case, the electronic configuration become 2-8 because sodium has lost 1 electron and magnesium has given 2 electrons. Now coming to the non-metals, we are talking about chlorine. Chlorine has 17 electrons, right? So it need 1. So it will take 1 electron from the sodium and it will become 288, right? And if magnesium is combining with oxygen, oxygen atomic number is 16, right? Oxygen atomic number क्या है? 16 है 6 है?
Ma'am, 6.
6. So मैं जान के बोली थी, मेरे को देखती कोई बोले, किसी ने नहीं बोला. 16 is the mass, right? So
Yes,
it
ma'am.
will be having 6 oxygen.
Ma'am, it will having 8 electrons.
Yes.
मैम ये
Oxygen.
8 होते हैं.
हाँ, yes. Now this oxygen is having 8, तो outermost में 6 होंगे, तो it will take 2 electrons from magnesium and it will form Mg2O because it will be taking 2 electrons, right? So what will be the formula of magnesium oxide? It is Mg2O or MgO? Yes.
Ma'am, MgO.
Yes. Why? Because magnesium is giving 2 electrons and oxygen is taking 2 electrons. Magnesium की भी valency 2 है, oxygen की भी valency 2 है, and 2 gets cancelled. So that is why the formula becomes MgO. Right? Now see here. It is very much important question. Definitely you will get one question. आपकी बुक में 2 examples हैं, एक सोडियम का है, एक मैग्नीशियम का है. Right? And 2 questions are given. One I told you right now, MgO and Na2O. Right? ये दोनों questions आपकी बुक में हैं. Now when we are talking about this sodium and chlorine. Now what will happen? We'll write sodium and it is having 1 electron in the outermost cell. Right? Now this chlorine is having 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So what will happen? You have to show like this. Arrow mark डाल के आपने दिखाना है. Right? So this sodium will give 1 electron. So this electrons, blue dot देखो यहाँ पर देखो, you come here. This blue dots has come here. आपने भी different symbol use करने हैं. You can take dots and cross. Right? Na with the dot or square box and chlorine with the cross. This is very much important. So this Na will give 1 electrons and it will become positive, and chlorine is getting 1, so it will become negative. So this the formula will be NaCl. Have you followed this? Have you
Yes,
followed?
ma'am.
Now coming to the next example, magnesium. Right? Come here. You see this one. Mg is having 2 electrons in its outermost shell. Now why the formula is MgCl2? NaCl में NaCl था. Only single Cl will be there. एक और तरीका मैं आपको बता रही हूँ to get remember. Right? For NaCl, because it has to give 1 electrons, so it called 1 chlorine. Now Mg is having 2 electrons, but 1 chlorine needs 1 electron. Right? Chlorine को तो एक चाहिए. Mg के पास 2 है. तो ये क्या करता है? It will call 2 chlorine atoms. So one it will give to 1 chlorine and another it will give to 2nd chlorine, like this. You can see. Right? And thus Mg is losing 2 electrons. So it will become 2 positive. Clear? Clear or no? Now chlorine is getting 1 electrons. So it will become, both become negative, and ultimately the formula will become MgCl2. Clear? Have you followed this MgCl2? Yes, students? Any doubt here?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
This is very much, this is called electron dot structure. Right? Clear? We are showing with the help of dot structures. We are doing in 10th, next chapter also carbon compounds. So have you followed this? Any doubt here?
No, ma'am.
To anyone? This is very much important. You mark in your book also. It is given in your book also. See here, this is the sodium. This one is important. Now coming to the, this one is magnesium chloride. Right? Now, you can, I'll come to the property area of cyanide compound. Wait, you mark this question. See here, show the, write the electron dot structure of, you have to do these questions by yourself, though I'm sending today, but first you do by yourself and then compare with my notes. Okay? These are the two very much important question. Clear? Clear or not? Can you do now? Yes, students? Can you do these two questions? First, you do in your rough notebook. I'm sending you the notes of this chapter today. Then compare with my notes, and still if you're having any doubts, you can ask me in my next class. Okay, these questions, these two and these two questions are very much important. Definitely you will get one question from this. Clear? Now coming to the next topic, that is property of ionic compound. Now, ionic compounds are compounds formed by the transfers of electrons from metals and non-metals. So what you have done now? Sodium chloride you have done, magnesium chloride you have done. You can do Na2 and sodium oxide, magnesium oxide. These are called ionic compound, right? There are two types of compounds. One is covalent and second one is ionic. Covalent compound we are going to discuss in detail in next chapter. But what is compound? Covalent compound. Covalent compound is a compound formed by the sharing of electrons. For example, we can talk about methane. I will write and show you. Wait. I write on this and I will explain you. Now you have heard about methane, CH4? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You know how CH4 is formed? Now this carbon, how much electron it is having in the outermost shell? Can you tell me? How much
Ma'am,
carbon?
4.
4.
Ma'am,
So
4.
how much hydrogen is having in outermost shell?
Ma'am, 1.
So what will happen? It will call 4 hydrogen. ये 4 hydrogens को बुलाएगा to share the electrons. Don't go for the structure because it is difficult to balance. So like this hydrogen is having 1 electron. Carbon will share 1 electron with the hydrogen. So it will become 5. So it will call another hydrogen here. Right? Clear? And it is also having 1 electron. So like this, and another hydrogen here. This you are going to do in your next chapter also. Like this. It is like this. Right? So thus carbon is having 8 electrons and hydrogen is having 2 electrons. They are sharing. जैसे एक eraser होती है and 2 students are doing work. So you will keep in the center. आपस में share करते हो. So the compounds which are formed by sharing the electrons are called covalent compounds. Right? And in this case, what we have done earlier, here you are giving the electrons and taking the electrons. Right? Na is giving and chlorine is taking. So if the compounds formed by giving or taking electrons by the transfer of electrons, then it is called ionic compound. Have you followed? Covalent और ionic में difference पता लग गया? Yes, student, have you followed? Covalent compounds are formed by, yes, covalent compounds
Sharing of electrons.
sharing of electrons, and ionic compounds are formed by
Losing or gaining of electrons.
transfer. You can write transfer of electrons from metals to non-metals. Right? Clear? Now, what are the properties? They are crystalline solids. Right? They have high melting points and boiling points. They are soluble in water, but insoluble in organic solvents like petrol and kerosene. They conduct electricity in molten state. When they are liquid, they conduct electricity because they contain salt, right? These are salts, so they conduct electricity, right? You can see by putting these two electrodes in the salt solution, the current is passed. आप नींबू के रस में भी कर सकते हो, इलेक्ट्रोड डाल के नींबू के रस में क्या होता है, सॉल्ट होता है, तो it will conduct electricity, right? So we'll mark the in properties in your book also. Now see here, these are the properties of ionic compounds. It is called electrovalent compound also, right? It is called electrovalent compound also. You can mark this. These are the properties which are very much important, and you have to learn this. What you have to learn, we'll discuss now. Ionic compounds are solid and somewhat hard, right? They are solid and they are hard also because they are having positive and negative ions, right? They are generally brittle. Brittle क्या होता है, जैसे ग्लास टूटता है ना, चकनाचूर हो जाता है, उसको हम brittle बोलते हैं. They break into pieces. ग्लास को मारो, देखो कितने छोटे छोटे टुकड़े हो जाते हैं. That means glass is brittle, right? Now, what is about melting and boiling points? They have high melting and boiling points. You can underline this, right? Because they require considerable amount of energy to break, right? इसके जो इंटर आयनिक फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन होता है पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव का, उसको ब्रेक करने के लिए एनर्जी चाहिए. सो दे आर हैविंग हाई as well as high melting as well as boiling points. Now solubility we have discussed. They are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in organic solvent like kerosene and petrol. जो ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट होते हैं, क्योंकि जिनमें कार्बन होता है वो ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट होते हैं, राइट? सो देयर इट इज इनसॉल्युबल. नाउ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन हियर. See here, this conduction of electricity, here you are having. So second question we have already done. Why they are having high melting and boiling point? Because of inter-ionic attraction, right? And third one, it is not given. This conduction of electricity, it is very much important paragraph because we are getting a question which I'll tell you right now. The conduction of electricity through a solution involve the movement of charged particle. That you know that whenever the electricity is supplied, electrons move. सबको पता है ना, electricity chapter आपने पढ़ा है. The charge flows, electrons move, right? A solution of ionic compound in water contain ions. इसके अंदर salt होता है, ions होते हैं, which move to the opposite electrodes, जो कि electrodes पर जाते हैं, and then electricity is passed through the solution. जब electricity pass होती है, electrons flow होते हैं, they move to the opposite charge, that is positive to negative, right? यहाँ से mark करो, very important question. Why ionic compound in the solid state do not conduct electricity? This is the important question. Mark it. करो mark. Yes, this is the important question. Why ionic compound in a solid state do not conduct electricity? Because movement of ions in the solid is not possible due to their rigid structure, right? Solid क्या है? Hard है, rigid है, तो उसमें ions move नहीं होते. इसलिए ionic compound अगर solid state में होते हैं तो वो electricity conduct नहीं करते हैं. But when they are in the molten state, ठीक है, due to the electrostatic force of attraction between the positive charge, right, it overcomes due to the heat, right, and then ions move freely and conduct electricity. जब heat करोगे तो electricity force of attraction क्या होता है? वो opposite charge में कम हो जाता है due to raise in temperature, तो electron starts moving. आपको पता है जैसे जैसे हम टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करते हैं काइनेटिक एनर्जी विल इंक्रीज. यू हैव स्टडीड इन 9th क्लास, राइट? तो जब टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करते हैं काइनेटिक एनर्जी इंक्रीज होती है, तो इनके जो फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन होता है वो कम हो जाता है एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन स्टार्ट्स मूविंग. सो दैट इज व्हाई दे फ्लो इन द the electricity conduct in the molten state but not in the solid state. This is the one of the important part, right? So have you followed till here? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Anyone wants to ask anything? Yes. Anyone wants to ask anything? So we'll stop here. Stop करें या अगला टॉपिक लें? Yes. Tell me.
Ma'am, next time कर लेंगे.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Okay,
yes,
because
next time कर
now
लेंगे.
this topic we have completed. So next topic we are going to start in the next class. So till here you practice it, you do it, because these are the questions which I told you. You are getting the question like only in your board exams. ऐसे ही questions आएंगे जो मैंने mark कराए हैं. So practice this question, practice electron dot structure, formula dot structure जो आपके बुक में दिए हैं. अगर आपके पास कोई रेफरेंस बुक पड़ी है तो आप एक्स्ट्रा भी प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो. ठीक है? So I will send you the notes today. You can complete your notebook by taking your own time. ठीक है?
Okay,
Not
ma'am.
putting stress. आराम से complete करते जाओ. So with this, I am completing this topic. So next class we'll start with the occurrence of metals. Right? Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.